So Jesus wasn't a myth. He wasn't a good moral teacher, if that's what we want to call him. And he wasn't a menace. What about the idea that Jesus was mentally ill? We've seen that he wasn't a myth, that he couldn't have been a moral teacher of any sophistication. He wasn't a menace, because that doesn't comport with what we see of Jesus in the four Gospels. Well, what if he was mentally ill? Some people have retorted that Jesus wasn't mentally ill. He was like many people today who believed that he merely had the divine spark within him, much like New Age teachers that we see, that they claim that they are God. Well, this works, of course, in a modern 21st century setting, but this does not fit with a strict first century Palestinian Jewish monotheistic setting. If you were to claim that you were God in the first century in Israel, this was met with capital punishment. This would have been considered a capital crime. So, if Jesus was making this claim, one of two options is afforded to us. Number one, he was a deceiver, or number two, he himself was deceived. But the idea that you could just go around saying that you were a deity in the first century simply doesn't fit with the historical context or milieu. Moreover, it's interesting that the New Testament authors include this accusation in the Gospels. They had nothing to fear about this accusation because they knew that Jesus had such a reputable character that the idea that he was mentally ill or that he was demon-possessed, which was an accusation in his day, could not withstand any sort of scrutiny. So it didn't bother them to include the claim, that his enemies believed that he was mentally ill. Furthermore, is it plausible to believe that the world was transformed by a delusional, narcissistic maniac? Now, I don't mean this in the sense that he took over political power and he led a revolution that had many people killed. And, we've seen people like that in history. But to have a peaceful revolution for the first 3 centuries of Christianity until the time of Constantine in AD 313, and to change the world through nonviolence, through forgiveness, through peace, being the Prince of Peace, that Jesus' principles and statements and teachings have changed modern people's hearts even 2,000 years later. Is it reasonable to believe that this was the work of a delusional maniac? In 2013, Cambridge University Press published this book entitled Who's Bigger? Where Historical Figures Really Rank. And what was interesting is that they didn't find that a general or a philosopher or a scientist or a president or king or monarch of any kind made the top of the list as the most influential person in human history. Instead, Jesus of Nazareth was found to be the most influential person who ever lived. Now, can we really believe that the most influential man who ever lived, who has changed the hearts and minds of literally billions of people, was himself mentally delusional? You know, when we look at people who are mentally delusional, they are really not that difficult to identify. David Koresh was the leader of the Branch Davidian cult. Here is a section from one of his poems, and this goes on for pages. I'll just give you a little excerpt. This is what Koresh writes. Search forth for the meaning here. Hidden within these words, 'tis a song that's sung of fallen tears, given way for 2 lovebirds. She bird is mine, the hunter said. 'Twas the bird I raised and faithfully fed. 'Twas he bird who released her from her cage, sought her womb and youthful age. Lovebird's the name, these birds they call, 2, plural, lovebird takes 2. 'Twas not her womb of which he sought, and certainly not her youth. And now we see the hunter man robbed without a prey. The evil which he sought to do caused the birds to pass away. And now we see the final meaning of this rhyme and verse. So finally, after all of that, he's going to explain to us what do you mean by all of this? What did all of that mean? He bird, she bird, one bird, two bird, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. What did it mean? Well, he tells us, the pending judgment of the king who rules the universe. I don't know if you were able to follow that, but I certainly wasn't. When you read the words of people that are leading even small cult groups, you see that their delusions and their mental illness can just rise right to the surface. This becomes very clear. So I have no idea what that means. If you find out, let me know, because I'm not sure if anyone, maybe even including David Koresh, knows what that means. Hi, everybody. I hope that you're enjoying the content and the videos here. If you're looking to help us in any way, there's one way that you could, which is to like and subscribe to the channel below. Hope that you would. Thanks so much.